What is the YouTube Scott Party back from the video, and today we're going to be going over 10 things that need to come back for NBA Live Mobile Season 4. Since over the course of these past NBA Live Mobile seasons, they got rid of a lot of good things. So let's go ahead and move on into the first. Alright, so the first thing that we need back in NBA Live Mobile Season 4 is Showdown without an overall advantage. Playing against a high overall team already puts you at a disadvantage, but then you got the percentage advantage on both offense and defense. So it makes it that only overall matters and the stats of a card doesn't. This was
All right. +5 advantage. That still doesn't make a ton of sense to me how you get, not only is it supposed to be random in how you're matched up, but you get a boost to your overall because you have a better, like, you already have the advantage. Wow.
An idea that came from Season 1 back in when we had head-to-head, where you are allowed to use any card that you want in your team without your team suffering from that card being a low overall. Yeah, that's the first thing that we need back. I think that's one of the most important things, but you're going to move on to the second one. Alright, so for the second thing, we got better Showdown rewards. The current Showdown rewards are absolutely terrible. You're getting the same reward every week, which is your choice between multiple courts and like different arenas and multiple jerseys that are like based off of your rank in Showdown. So if you like rank high, you'll get an elite jersey that gives a +8% fan boost, or you can get a silver jersey, which for everything else, so that only gives like a +6%, I think, or +4%. I don't think that's a good idea, but because they're literally giving you the same rewards every single week, and they're giving you collectibles for players that don't really come out that much. So I think that we should go back to the old Season 2 systems where you're basically grinding for weekly Showdown Masters. So we'll have like a LeBron for a week, Gary Payton. I don't remember all the cards, obviously, because that was Season 2 was a long time ago, but you had like high quality cards that were released that, like, if 106 overall cards were coming down the promos, there'd be 106 overall cards in Showdown that you could grind for. So yeah, I think that's the second thing that we need. But the thing about the weekly Showdown in Season 2 is that they would give you collectibles from, like, if there was a promo out, like we got the last collectible promo that we had, I don't even remember, but let's say we got the Mobile Madness promo out, we could get collectibles so we could put cards into those sets, and yeah, we could do that, which was pretty cool. So, and they also give you high overall league cards. Right now they just give you tokens for the Showdown sets. I don't think, like, those rewards are so garbage. Like, Showdown isn't really worth playing. But yeah, that's the second thing I think that we need back in the game. So for the third thing that we need back in NBA Live Mobile Season 4 is big moments. So basically, big moments were back in Season 1 where an NBA player had a good game, or like had a game that they're not usually having. Like, let's say like Serge Ibaka, a great example would be Serge Ibaka when he had a career high 34 points on 15 for 17 shooting. So yeah, he would get like a big moments card, which was actually pretty good. So it gave like a reason for like players that like don't really get cards that often, like that aren't like all-star caliber players, would actually get good cards. Or an example of like a all-star caliber player getting the card would be like when James Harden hit the game winner to beat the Warriors, where he had 44, 15, and 10. So yeah, they would like drop a James Harden card in the game, and he would be pretty good. So yeah, I think that's the second thing that we need back. It's also one of the things I feel like would make the game more like connected to the NBA, because right now it's just like we're gonna release cards for whatever is happening right now, like whatever season it is. But yeah, I think that's the third thing that we need back. So for the fourth thing that we need back is League versus League rewards, or League versus League Masters. So basically, the way League versus League is right now, where you have the achievements where, like, if your league gets like a certain amount of rebounds, certain amount of points, certain amount of assists, then you get like the league tokens. But back in Season 1, they actually you were actually get a player. So like there was like a high overall, I think it was card Brian Scalabrine, which is one of the most popular cards in the game. So, and it also gave you a reason to play League versus League, because like right now all you're playing League versus League is League 4 is Boomer Bust packs. I think that's not really worth that at all. But yeah, I think that's the fourth thing that we need back. So hopefully they could bring that back. Alright, so for number 5, we got a Mobile Master. So basically, back in Season 1 and 2, even though they dropped it super late, was a Mobile Master was the player that was on the cover of the game would get an exclusive card. So like throughout the season you can grind for that card, and it just gave you something year round to grind for. So like if you don't feel like grinding the promos or playing Showdown or head to head back in Season 1 where they had it, you could just try to grind for these what is it called? The Mobile Masters, which actually rewarded you like whichever mode you're playing. So it you're constantly getting rewarded for actually playing the game. So I think that's the fifth thing. I feel like that's one of the most important things that we need back, because there's there's nothing that will like basically reward the players for actually like playing the game. So I feel like that's the fifth thing that we need back. So for the 16 that we need back, I don't think that we really need it back, but it would be cool if they added back, is the Supremacy, Royalty, and the NBA Ruler cards. So basically, the Supremacy and Royalty cards were cards that were like coming at like the middle of the season, where they would drop like a 93. Well, in season 1 it was a 93 Supremacy LeBron with the buzzer beater who gave a +5 dribbling to the team, or I think it was +5 dribbling, and then season 2 it was a 95 overall LeBron with the clutch ability who gave a +5 dunk range to the team. So those were just cards that like if you don't that came out like every like Thursday, Tuesday, and I think like on Sunday. So basically those cards were, if you don't really feel like playing the game, the promo's trash, just like pay to win, and you could just go ahead play the events that came out. Like they were like a rotation of events, so you always had something to play if you didn't feel like playing the promos. So basically those were like one of the greatest things that they had in the game. It was like an exclusive card that you can only get from grinding. Of course you could like use your pay to get extra stamina, but this was something that really like, and like when you got the card you feel like really prideful about it, because like you put all these hours in to get this card on like these hard events, that and then you finally got that one collectible that you needed.
I swear, if we do not get double team, double team, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, yes, 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 yes.
So yeah, plus they also gave a pretty good ability. So they had the first card, the Supremacy LeBron, had a buzzer beater. The Royalty LeBron had a clutch, and then the NBA Ruler Kevin Durant, which came out like during like the All-Star break in season 1. He had I'm not even sure what ability he had, but those are all pretty nice cards that were in the game. Hopefully they could bring more cards like that back for season 4. Alright, so at number 8, we got, just again, something that rewards you for playing the mode. So, of course, season mode is the most useless mode in the game right now. But back in season 1, we actually had collectibles that were you would use to turn in for season veterans. So, basically, if you like complete an achievement in the game, it was literally like play with your balance line for this game, play with your, I guess now it would be like play with your street line for this game. And then if you win, you would get a season veterans collectible, which was gold, and then you would go over to the sets and then throw those golds into the set, those gold collectibles into the set, which you would get gold players, which I think they gave you a chance at elites, but I'm not really sure. But with those gold players, you could turn them in for elites, and then with those elites, you could either, if you didn't get elite, you would turn those golds that you have into elites, and then I guess now they could do like a platinum thing. So like if you get like 10 elite players, then you would get like a platinum season veteran. That would be pretty cool if they could add that back in season 4, because there's not really an incentive for playing season games. But I think that's one of the more important things that we need, is like make it worth it for you to play all the modes in the game, so you're not just locked into like just grinding promos, because that's all season 3 really was, just grinding promos and that's it, and just trying to build a good team. But I think that's the thing that we need. Okay, so at number 9 we got basically training. So back in season 2 they added training, where it's like basically like elevate, where unless besides that you don't have to use the collectible, you can use any players in your lineup or any players that are on your bench. So the cool thing about training is that it allowed you to train a player up to 5 levels. I think it was like from level 1, then you would go up to level 6. So obviously the base is at level 1, then you go up to level 6. So the reason that this was cool is because you have a player like that you like, and you're like, the new players that they're dropping aren't really good. I tried them out, they're trash. I'm not going to use those players, so I'm just going to use that player so I can train my player up higher, because I like that player. I don't really want that player off of my team yet, because that player is pretty good. So basically you could throw your collectibles in there, you could throw players from your bench. So this was a really good way of clearing your bench, so especially from like an auction house, it doesn't really work. So you could just throw cards in there and you could upgrade your players higher overalls. And then, but the thing about that is that it made them unauctionable, but it also boosted their value in training points. So if you had like a base card that was like 15k, and then you train that card up like all the way up to level 6, then that card could be boosted to like 45k, which you could use to train another player if you wanted to, or just keep it on your team. But I think that's one of the things that it would be cool if they added back for season 4. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the last thing. Alright, so for number 10, the most important thing that we need back in NBA Live Mobile Season 4 is a working auction house. So basically for the first part of Season 1 and Season 2, get a working auction house. Obviously it was peer-to-peer. You put a card up on a server that another person could buy that card off of the server for a good price. And then in the second half of Season 2, I think the auction house was working kind of good, but it wasn't working that well. But I think in Season 3, it just got completely ruined. I'm not sure exactly what they did to it, but need to either go back to the thing that they were using in Season 1, or they could completely redo the auction house for Season 4 so that it's working, so that everyone could use it. And like basically, if you got a master from a promo, then you put that card up on the auction house, like, yo, I don't need it on my team, just go ahead, put that up on the auction house, get some coins back, and then it doesn't sell. So now you're moving into like the card is going down in value because you have to keep on reposting it until it sells, and by the time it sells, the card lost like half its value. But yeah, I think that's the last thing, probably the most important that we need back for Season 4. Alright, so let me know down in the comment section what you thought about the list. Let me know if you would add anything new to the list that you think that we need back from old seasons. Basically, I made this list with the idea that I didn't expect EA to add anything big. Like, I didn't expect them to add like real-time PvP or anything big like that. Just wanted them to bring back old things in the game that made it good, which like which is like basically the reason Season 1 is the best season ever, is because they took away a lot of the stuff they had good in Season 1 and just completely deleted it, and now we're stuck with this Season 3, Season 2 game that wasn't as good as Season 1. I think that they could return back to those games if they just add some of the stuff they already had in the game, which should be pretty easy. But that's gonna be the end of the video. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe, guys, and let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about my 10 things and if what you would add to the game, like whether it's old things or new things. I guess if you want to, you could throw that down there too. But that's gonna be the end of the video. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe, guys, and peace out.